Picture a cage tightening around your soul, voices demanding you shrink to fit their blueprint, their laughter slicing at your edges until you're a shadow of what you could be. Now picture shattering that cage with a single, unyielding step, walking free head high, your spirit intact and blazing. That's the Sigma male's truth. He doesn't break, he doesn't bow, he builds his own damn world. This isn't just strength, it's defiance forged in fire. Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we don't whisper about independence, we roar it. Today we're tearing into the 11 things Sigma men will not tolerate under any circumstances. These aren't quirks or petty gripes. They're the battle lines of a man who knows his worth and guards it with steel. If you're here, you're not just watching, you're ready to claim your sovereignty. Let's dive in. 1. Forced conformity and identity erosion /. Your unique rhythm isn't up for debate, it's the pulse of your existence. Sigma men carve their paths with deliberate precision, their unconventional hobbies, quiet opinions and solitary rituals forming the bedrock of their sanity. They don't just enjoy that obscure album or that late-night walk alone. They need it like oxygen to a flame. When the world sneers, "Why listen to that?" Or, "That's weird," it's not mere criticism they hear, it's an attack on the autonomy they fought to preserve. This isn't about fragile egos. It's about defending a self-crafted identity that's been tempered through years of standing apart. They won't waste breath explaining their soul's compass to a jury of conformists. Try to sand down their edges or mock their chosen resonance, and you'll see no outburst, just a silent, permanent exit. Their world isn't built for your approval, and they'll die before letting you reshape it. The Stoic thread here is clear. A man's power lies in knowing himself and holding fast, no matter the storm of external judgment. Sigma men don't cling to their individuality out of stubbornness. It's their lifeline, a source of clarity in a chaotic world that demands sameness. They've learned that bending to fit in doesn't bring peace. It brings erosion, a slow death of the spirit they refuse to endure. Every attempt to force them into a mold is a test they've already passed by walking away. They understand that true freedom isn't loud rebellion. It's the quiet, unshakable resolve to live as they are, no apologies, no compromises. For the Sigma, conformity isn't just uncomfortable, it's a betrayal of the self, and that's a line they'll never cross. 2. The mask of the harmless insult /. That laugh hiding a knife? Sigma men spot it before the sound fades. They've got a near-psychic radar for venom cloaked as humor, the coworker joking about your work, the friend whose sarcasm always cuts a little too deep. They know real wit builds bonds, while cruelty disguised as banter tears them apart. This isn't about thin skin, it's about seeing disrespect for what it is. Once the pattern shows, the sly dig, the flicker of envy behind the grin, trust vanishes like smoke. They demand clarity in communication. Say what you mean or lose your place in their orbit. Veiled hostility is the coward's game, and cowards don't get a seat at their table. Rooted in stoic clarity, they cut through the facade to the truth beneath, refusing to waste energy on games. A Sigma doesn't overreact. He observes, he assesses, and he acts, preserving his peace over feeding someone else's insecurity. That harmless jab? It's a signal of weakness in the speaker, not the target, and he's too sharp to miss it. When the mask slips, he doesn't confront. He withdraws, a silent verdict more damning than any argument. This isn't pettiness, it's a choice to invest in what's real, not wrestle with shadows. Disrespect dressed up as humor gets no second chance. Sigma men don't entertain snakes, they step over them and keep moving. 3. The black hole of endless complaint /. Venting without action is spiritual quicksand, and Sigma men won't sink in it. They get struggle. Life's not a straight line, but they live for agency, the power to shape what's in their grasp. Hearing the same tired lament day after day about a problem with a fix? That's not pain being shared, it's victimhood being chosen, and they've got no patience for it. These energy vampires, sucking life with every whine while refusing to lift a finger, clash with the Sigma's core. Diagnose the issue, act on it, or let it go. Whining isn't talk, it's a plague on the vitality they guard like a fortress. They won't drown in your mire, they'll climb out and leave you behind. Stoic wisdom fuels this stance. Control what you can, release what you can't, and don't waste breath on the rest. Sigma men don't reject complaint out of coldness, they reject the stagnation it breeds, the way it drags everyone down into a pit of inaction. They've got their own battles to fight, and they won't let your endless loops steal their momentum. Step onto solid ground with them or stay stuck. They don't care which, but they're not joining you in the mud. It's not arrogance, it's survival, a refusal to let someone else's inertia dim their fire. Sigma men move forward always, and chronic complainers are just dead weight they won't carry. 4. The stench of falsehood, lies and exaggeration / Their truth detector is razor sharp, almost otherworldly. To a Sigma, habitual liars and embellishers aren't just irritating, they're toxic, fouling the air of authenticity he breathes. Exaggerated tales, puffed up achievements, little white lies for convenience. They don't just hear the words, they see the fracture in character behind them. Sincerity is his lifeline, deception chokes it off. Once you're marked as a source of falsehood, your voice turns to static. He won't call you out, he'll just erase you, shielding his integrity from the rust of your deceit. Stoic virtue demands truth as a pillar of a good life, and Sigma men live that demand without preaching it. They don't need your lies to like you, they need your realness to respect you, and without respect you're nothing to them. Every fib is a crack in the trust they rarely give, and they're too wise to ignore the damage. Ghosting the liar isn't drama, it's hygiene, a clean break to keep their world untainted. They don't waste time on debates or second chances with those who can't stand in honesty. Sigma men build their reality on solid ground, and falsehoods are quicksand they'll never step into. 5. Leadership traps and the demand to conform / Your natural leader label is your fantasy, not their calling. Sigma men glow with quiet competence, but don't mistake it for a hunger to command, it's a fatal error. They thrive in autonomy, shaping the world by example, not edict, leading from the shadows while others clamor for the spotlight. Shoving them into a role they didn't choose isn't praise, it's a trap, a cage built from your expectations. They don't empower by directing crowds, they inspire one soul at a time on their terms. Push them to perform, to conform, to lead your way, and you'll ignite not ambition but a deep, primal urge to break free, honor their space or lose them forever. Stoic self-mastery shines here. Real influence doesn't need a stage, just a man who knows himself and lives it. Sigma men don't reject leadership out of fear. They reject the chains it often brings, the demand to bend for the sake of others' comfort. Their power lies in being, not barking orders, and they'll never trade that for applause. When you force the issue, they don't argue. They vanish, choosing liberty over a hollow crown. It's not defiance for show, it's a calculated stand for what keeps them whole. Sigma men lead by existing authentically, and no amount of pressure will pull them from that truth. Pause. Recalibrate. A word for the watcher in the shadows. Whether you're a Sigma in name or just feel that pull toward unyielding self-possession, hear this. These boundaries aren't whims, they're your armor, your survival code. That twist in your gut when these lines are crossed? It's not pride, it's your essence screaming against what dims it. Sigma male community isn't here to rally troops. It's here to map the framework of your sovereignty. Listen close, your peace, your power, your life depends on it. 6. The transactional void, one-way streets / Connection is a two-way current, not a handout. Sigma men dive into the rich exchange of mutual discovery, your story, their story, a dance of minds that feeds both. But meet a human monologue, someone spewing drama, dreams, or gripes without ever pausing to hear you, and it's an instant drain, a black hole where give and take should be. It's not just rude, it's a gaping self-obsession they won't indulge. They're not here to clap for your solo act. When curiosity doesn't flow both ways, the link's already dead. They pull back, not from spite, but to protect their energy. Your tale needs an echo to matter, or silence is all you'll get. Stoic balance drives this. Meaningful bonds grow from shared wisdom, not one-sided noise. Sigma men don't shun talk, they shun waste, and a conversation without depth is just that. They'd rather sit in quiet than play audience to someone who doesn't see them. Their withdrawal is a gift to themselves, a refusal to let selfishness sap their strength. It's not cold, it's clear, real connection lifts both or it's not worth the air. Sigma men value what's mutual, and they'll cut the cord on anything less without a second thought. 7. The cowardice of unaccountability / Promises break. Life happens, but integrity doesn't bend. Sigma men can forgive a slip, but what they loathe is the refusal to own it, flaking again and again, failing without apology, dodging with excuses or silence. It's not the mistake that kills trust, it's the spineless dodge afterward, a neon sign of unreliability. Words lose weight, bonds crumble to ash. They don't see errors, they see a character too weak to stand tall. Their fix is clean. No yelling, no scenes, just disengagement. You're gone from their world, no longer a piece worth keeping. Accountability isn't a favor they ask, it's a demand baked into their respect. Stoic courage means facing yourself, flaws and all, and Sigma men hold that mirror to everyone. They don't punish the unaccountable, they purge them, knowing trust can't grow in soil that's shaky. It's not about perfection, it's about owning the mess you make. When you duck responsibility, they don't chase you down, they let you fade, a ghost in a reality they curate with care. It's surgical, not spiteful, a choice to surround themselves with strength, not excuses. Sigma men live by honor, and they won't waste time on those who don't. 8. The hierarchy of disrespect. Mistreating the unimportant /. Watch how they treat the waiter, the janitor, the cashier. That's their raw, unfiltered soul. Sigma men see condescension to the lowly as a festering insecurity, a pathetic grab to feel big by making others small. It's not just bad manners, it's a moral rot, a hollow heart flexing status to mask its emptiness. They catch the sneer, the sharp tone, the brushed-off glance, and it's not a quirk, it's a deal breaker. That kind of arrogance isn't a flaw to overlook, it's a poison they won't breathe. Proximity to it is unbearable, hit the eject button and they're out. Stoic dignity runs deep here. Every person gets respect until they prove otherwise, no rank required. Sigma men don't judge worth by titles. They judge it by actions, and nothing screams weakness louder than kicking down. They've got no use for those who need to crush to feel tall. Staying near that toxicity? Not an option. They'd rather walk alone than share air with someone so brittle. It's not judgment, it's a stand for what's real over what's fake. Sigma men align with character, not hierarchy, and they'll sever ties with anyone who doesn't get that. 9. Energy vampires and emotional blackmail. Drama as a lifestyle? Hard pass. Sigma men despise those who wield emotions like weapons. The perpetual victim, the guilt slinger, the leech begging for rescue or praise. They spot the hooks fast, the if you cared you'd, traps, the fake crises meant to bind you. They're not here to be drained by your chaos or feed your validation addiction. Their energy's too precious, a flame they shield with iron. Try to siphon it with manipulation and you'll hit a wall, then nothing. They're gone, no negotiation, just a clean break from your mess. Stoic calm is their anchor. They don't ride your emotional waves, they stay steady and let you crash alone. Sigma men know peace is power, and they won't trade it to prop up someone too lazy to fix themselves. Every plea you throw is a test they've already aced by walking away. Their exit isn't cruelty, it's clarity, a refusal to let parasites dim their light. They'd rather build in silence than babysit your storms. Sigma men guard their core, and emotional blackmailers don't just get blocked, they get erased. 10. The slow death of stagnation. Motion is life, standing still is a coffin. Sigma men might seem introspective, but inside their engines roaring toward growth, personal, mental, cosmic. They shudder at anything stuck. A lover fine with average, a job with no climb, even their own habits hardening into ruts. Complacency isn't rest, it's rot, a creeping suffocation they feel in their bones. They can't stomach good enough for long, it's a slow bleed of the soul they won't abide. Evolution's their heartbeat, stagnation's their enemy, and they'll bolt from it every time. Stoic progress fuels this fire. Excellence isn't a goal, it's a constant chase, a life of pushing limits. Sigma men don't fear change, they fear the absence of it, the dull haze of a life unchallenged. They've seen what happens when you stop moving and they'll never let it claim them. Trapped in inertia? They don't complain, they act, breaking free like a beast from a snare. It's not restlessness, it's purpose, a drive to keep the spark alive. Sigma men live to rise, and they'll cut anything, or anyone, that drags them into the grave of just fine. 11. The ultimate violation, boundary ignorance, repeated. This is the root of it all. Sigma men set boundaries, unspoken, ironclad zones of time, energy, heart, and values. Cross once and you might get a warning, a chill in the air, a step back. Cross again after the signal's clear? That's war, a blatant slap saying their sovereignty doesn't count. Demanding time when they've claimed solitude, pushing past a no, trampling their principles, it all screams, you don't matter. Their answer's final, No talks, no deals, just erasure. You're gone, a memory they won't revisit. It's not rage, it's the cold, absolute enforcement of their law. Stoic control shapes this. They can't stop your choices, but they can damn well choose their response. Sigma men don't bend boundaries, they defend them, knowing chaos creeps in where lines blur. It's not personal, it's primal, a need to keep their world intact. Ignore their limits and you're not just out, you're nothing, a ghost they've already forgotten. This is their sanctuary and they'll burn bridges to protect it. Sigma has no mercy for what threatens the self. It's not pride, it's survival. There it is, the unyielding code of the Sigma male, 11 lines in the sand that guard a life of strength, purpose, and raw authenticity. This isn't theory, it's a blueprint for men who refuse to kneel, who build their empires within and defend them without apology. Sigma male community isn't just a channel, it's your forge, your proving ground, your call to rise. If this hit you deep, if it lit a fire in your chest, don't just sit there, smash that subscribe button and join the ranks of men who live this truth. Like this video, drop a comment with your own boundaries, share it with the brothers who need to hear it, spread the word because the world's starving for men who stand tall. Already subscribed? Turn on notifications. Don't miss a single drop of this stoic fire we're bringing every time. Sigma has no mercy for what threatens your soul, so guard it, live it, own it. Until next time, stay unbreakable.